Alright my friends, so it's time for us to add our button. So once we reach to this width right here, what I will do, I will show a button here in this specific area. Now of course feel free to change the position or the location of your button, but in my case I'm just gonna position it right here on the top right corner. With that being said, let's go ahead and do that. So here inside my index.html file, what I will do, before the navigation, here before that nav tag, it has to be here, okay? Because this button that I'm gonna add it right here, it will control the navigation, okay? So that's why it has to be either before it or after it. It cannot be inside it, okay? Because if we add it inside it, then once we are gonna hide the nav, the button will be hidden as well, okay? So that's why we need to add it before the nav. So I'm gonna add a button with the class of open _ nav, like so. Okay, I'm just gonna by default add the text to say open. We are gonna change it using JavaScript. For the time being, let's stick with it. If we take a look on the web browser, here we have the button on the top of the navigation. If I expand this all the way here, we can see the button right here. However, when we are in this specific width, I don't want to show the button, right? Because we want to show the button only if the user in this specific mode, right? So what I will do, I'm gonna go back to my CSS file, and here on the top, before declaring everything, okay, what I will do, I will just go ahead and implement my style for the button. So I'm gonna type open nav. Okay, I'm just gonna say the display here need to be none. Okay, of course we can add the visibility to be hidden and the opacity to be 0. Of course we do not need all these properties, but in my case I just want to make sure 100% that the button is hidden. Right? So that's why I will use all these properties. However, once we are reached to this width right here, I wanna show my button. So what I will do here, after we reach to this width right here, I'm just gonna target my button once again. I'm gonna say that display, the display property should be block or anything beside the none. I'm gonna make the visibility here, it has to be visible, right? And also the opacity 1, all right? But here, if we take a look now, the button will show right here. I do not want to show it here in this specific area. What I want to do, I want to show it right here as I said. And in order for me to do so, I'm gonna make the position to be absolute. Okay, I'm gonna say the top to be 0.5 rem and the right also to be 0.5 rem. If we take a look now, the button is already right here. But in order for me, this position right here will change depend on the container itself. So what I mean by this, here when we set the position to be absolute and we have pushed it from the top 0.5 rem and from the right to be 0.5 rem also, these values, okay, will be pushed, or we are gonna pull it down relevant to the body tag. By default, it will be, these values will be, we are gonna push it away from the parent tag for everything. Okay, and to prove that for you, what I will do, we can push it, for example, like 5 rem from the top. Here we are gonna see it, the button is right here. So this button right here, this space, come relevant to the body tag or to the HTML, to the whole HTML document. In order for us to tell it that we need to control this button right here relevant to the header, okay, because I want to push it relevant to the header. So that's why in order for me to do so, first of all, I'm going to reverse this or revert this back, and here I'm going to target my header, okay, and I'm gonna say the position of it to be relative. So this button right here will be moved with these values relevant to the header, okay, because this one has a position of relative and this one has a position absolute. However, this is really a CSS. I have told you that I have a separate course on the web design, and I have explained all this kind of stuff in details. So we are gonna see that I'm gonna stick with this here. Okay, if we take a look now, here we have it. Now what I will do, very simple, I'm just gonna add maybe border, okay, to be 1 pixel solid, and I'm just gonna choose black and assign some padding. This is really normal style and you should be familiar with this. And if we take a look, we have it right here. I'm gonna finally get rid of my background, so the background color should be none. Oops, none, like so, and we have it right here. Okay, now as you can see, the background color is not changing because this should be background to be none, not background color. Okay, and as you can see, the background has gone. However, feel free to change the style however we want. I'm gonna stick with this. In the next video, we are gonna show you how to hide the navigation, and also we are gonna see how we can control it using this button right here. In this video, we have just added the button here and apply several styles on it depending on the width of the size. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in another one.